All right, Emperor of Mankind. Let's go. Here he is, baby. Oh, wait, no, that's him. Sorry. Easy mistake to make. Yo. So this showed up today, and I'm ecstatic. First of all, didn't know if this was going to come through. Um, when you order things on eBay, you can never be too sure. Originally, I saw a post with this, and I was like, whoa, this looks legit. And did Games Workshop actually release a model of the Emperor? I didn't think they did, right? So I clicked on this thing to look at it, and of course, as soon as I did, I noticed that there was options in it. There's multiple heads. There's different weapon layouts. So instantly, it was like, okay, this isn't a Games Workshop product because they would not sell you options in a box. If you wanted all of the options from Games Workshop, you would have to rebuy that model 5 times for the 5 different weapons that it comes on it. Unfortunately, that is just what Games Workshop and Forge World do. So I instantly realized this is not, Games Workshop. And I was like, cool, whatever. Kept down scrolling, and the seller, I guess he was contacting people that were looking at it and offering, free shipping or whatever it was. And I just kind of ignored that. And then there was make me an offer thing. And I was like, you know what? I looked at it and I was like, if I shaved like $25 off of this, I don't think I could say no to it. Like I'd have to take the gamble, especially since it looks so cool. It is the Emperor. It is the Emperor. I'm a Custodes player now, and part of that is because of the Emperor lore. When I first got into 40K, there wasn't, like, back in 3rd edition, there wasn't that much lore to go off of for him. There's been more stuff released now. You get a better understanding of what the Emperor was all about, what he was trying to do. And I don't know, we can talk about that later. But I just think he's an awesome character through and through. And then, not to mention, we look at the actual model. This is what piqued my ire in the first place, okay? The fact that this model looks right, okay? We've only had so many different illustrations of the Emperor in the 40K universe in Games Workshop's official books. And it looks like this model is made straight out of that. And what's interesting about the Emperor here is his proportions are different. Like, he towers over Terminators. Terminators are like, what, 10 foot tall? Something like that. The Emperor of Mankind is like a 16-foot tall, handsome Indian giant. He's just like in all of the portraits that we've gotten. This is what he looks like. I mean, for some kind of space marine monster type dude, this is how he's always portrayed. Like, his arms are longer, his legs are longer. He's just on a different scale. And we're pretty sure the Emperor of Mankind's not actually human either, but that just goes more into his lore and everything. The point is, they got it right. They got it right, damn it. This is exactly what he's supposed to look like. Also, I'm going to have the seller's name in the description. I got to give a shout out to Toy and Hobby Maniacs with underscores between the words. Because like I said, I wasn't sure, since there wasn't, that much about this product floating around online. I wasn't sure if it was real. It didn't show up on time. So I started to panic. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, that thing. It never showed up. I hope I didn't just buy some fancy art, And I got a hold of the seller instantly, and he replied right back, which was nice. And he said he had a problem with the shipping, and he was going to send it through DHL or whatever. I was like, sure. At that point, I was just wanting to make sure I'm actually, getting my stuff. And so this shows up, and not only that, but I guess, for my trouble for having to wait an extra week or something, dude sent me $50 worth of paint. Yo, he sent me all of this paint. Right, these things are like $12 each last time I checked. They're all legit. They're all new. They're non-open. I can actually hear them in there. They're good paint. I'm very happy about that. Awesome, thank you. I mean, the value of the paint paid for the model. It's really kind of funny. So I guess it was my lucky day. right? So big shout out to Toy and Hobby Maniacs. So I don't know if that's just the people at Smart Resin, if that's them selling things on eBay. There wasn't exactly a lot of different profiles that were selling this item, right? So I was very happy when it came, right? But then we move on to the important things, like for me to even call this even with Games Workshop and Forge World. First of all the items have to be in the box, and yes, all of the parts are here. I've actually taken a couple of them out. So that's one for one. All the parts are there, so it's not like dealing with Forge World, which, by the way, we're on month 3 now, waiting for that replacement part for my grav tank that Forge World sold me broken in the box. And their claim to fame now is that they have to recast that part. Where I don't know, like I'm pretty sure this Smart Resin Studio, whatever this is, if I got a hold of them right now and was like, yo, this dude is missing a leg, I'm pretty sure they would just send me a whole new box. They actually care about their name and their name brand. And that's the sad part, is any of the third-party sellers, any of the like the miniatures black market, they will all have better customer service and support than Games Workshop and Forge World. And that has been proven to me. And that is part of the reason why I had to go over to the dark side. They forced me to. I'm still waiting for that one damn part, right? For a tank that I paid a premium for, I could go get that same exact tank for $45 now, and it'll come with 2 turrets instead of just the one. Games Workshop and Forge World, you want that second turret, you have to rebuy that whole tank for $150 to have the second turret. That's just effing terrible, and that's just the world that we live in now, and that is why, well, more and more people are buying models like this. It doesn't surprise me that there's another company that is making models that can be used for Warhammer for an actual reasonable price. And let's talk about quality, because I don't want to give my hopes up. I don't want to get excited until I actually broke into this Mosk. And the detail is in this resin. This is like a terrible camera for this. I can take better pictures than video of things up close, but the detail is here, yo. I've already taken some decent pictures, and I've sent them to my favorite paint studio in Siberia, Birds Are Back Studio. Woo. And yeah, my buddy over there is like, oh, that looks amazing. The detail, I would love to paint it. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, we're going to get a pro coat of paint on this Mosk. That is how good he looks. That is how much resin detail there is. It all looks good. There's nothing to shave off here, really. There's like a couple little things. Nothing came bent. There's another point that we have Forge World beat on right there. Everything that I've gotten from Forge World has had to be dipped into like some boiling water to straighten out the swords, to straighten out the spears. I burnt my damn pinky on some boiling hot water trying to straighten out some of these parts that Forge World has sent out. And I mean, I've already heard of people spending thousands of dollars for a model to get bent parts that can't even be saved. They end up having to 3D print to finish up their $1,000 model from Games Workshop or Forge World. And technically, they could never now use that model in an official Games Workshop sanctioned match because it has 3D printed parts in it, even though they were forced to. I don't know. It's so messed up. So yeah. But here's the other thing I'm gonna put on this right here. This right here, in my opinion, is one of the best Custodes upgrade boxes you could get. Now, just hear me out. I get it. There's no stats for an Emperor yet, officially. You can't actually run him and play him as the Emperor. For my army, he was going to be more like an avatar summoned by the Emperor's Wrath, which, why couldn't he do that? He's an all-powerful psychic being. If the Eldar can have avatars, he could be an avatar, damn it. And then I started thinking, I'm like, this model looks so good, I'm going to want to run him. I might be able just to count him as a shield captain on a jet bike. Like, with those longer legs, why couldn't he move 12 inches? Right? And just use him as that, because I think he is going to take up about the same amount of space as a jet bike. I could actually park a jet bike behind him on his base if I really wanted to, but no, I think him just by himself, how big he is, he's going to take up the same amount of room as a shield captain on a jet bike. So that's cool, as far as playability goes. But there's more. There's more. Because remember, we talked about options. There's options in this MOF. First of all, it's so funny. They give you so many options here. They can't even keep up with their own options. I got to point this out. It says... Okay. It's a product of high quality urethane resin and is 60 millimeters high. Okay, here it is. Comes with 5 different head options in 4 different weapon configurations. That's wrong. It comes with 6 different head options, right? There's 5. There are 5 Emperor helmetless heads in this, and then there is 1 helmet head. So altogether, that actually does make 6 different options. So they can't even keep track of how many options they're giving you on this model. Oh, and on top of that, we got a Cyber Eagle. Yeah, we got the actual Empire Cyber Eagle, and I love how they actually made him the Bionic Eagle with, what's this supposed to symbolize? Let me just, hold on. The rusty gears are turning. Okay, the head on the right is supposed to symbolize that it's looking towards the future. The head that is going down, which is the cybernetic head, is supposed to represent the present. And the cybernetic head is also blinded in one eye. It only has one working eye. So it shows how we have to be blinded to part of the present to make it to the future. I don't know. It's got some kind of stuff like that to it. I do remember something like that from the lore. You guys can look it up if you want. 40K has amazing lore. The point is, you get the Cyber Eagle. He doesn't have to be on the model. You can just put him on the model. Or you can put him on any model you want. Any Custodes army is going to look more badass with a freaking Cyber Eagle just in the midst. Like the Emperor is watching through his Cyber Eagle, right, on the golden throne. And then we have a spear. We have a Psychic Blast coming out of his hand. We have this amazing Lightning Claw. That thing just looks awesome. And we have this sword. Yo, Custodes. Hold on. Let's make sure my lens is clear here. Custodes just released a Blade Champion, right? And you have to spend $200 to get him in that stupid box. What if you already have an awesome Custodes army and you don't want to spend $200 just for a Blade Champion? That actually wasn't that impressive to me. Well, all you really need is some kind of badass sword. I think this would qualify. This would look badass on a Blade Champion. You can make one yourself. And look, the hand is already on there, and it's made to glue onto a Custodian. I mean, I've been working on Custodes like the past couple months. This is how their swords are too. It's got the hand coming out right here, and you just glue it onto the wrist. So, yeah, I'm probably going to make a different sword champion with this thing, right? And then I still got a spear to work with. This can go on a jet bike. This thing just looks gnarly, right? That can look good on any jet bike, anything like that they got going on. So we got the sword, we got the spear, the Psychic Blast, and the creme de creme. I was saving the best for last. It's not the Eagle. He should have been second to last because I think the Eagle's awesome. But another claw. Another claw that comes with another arm, right? Because his one arm will take the blast, the spear, or the sword. For the second claw, they actually give you another arm, and they give you another shoulder pad. It's a whole different arm that goes to this giant claw. It looks badass. Originally, this is how I was going to make him because I just think he looks so badass. It's like all of his wrath personified. But, yeah, if I was actually going to run him on the jet bike, I might want the Psychic Blast. That way he does, appear to have some sort of ranged attack. That could be a Melta Missile. There you go. There's his Melta Missile right there from his Psychic Blast. And all his, strength 8, 9 attacks come from his claw, whatever. It could work. It could easily work as a stand-in for a shield captain on a jet bike. That's probably why I'm going to go with the Psychic Blast option. But then that's going to leave me with this claw. Right, that was the other thing that made me go with the Psychic Blast is because I'm gonna have this claw sitting around. And you know what? I'll see if I can hook this claw up to like maybe a Terminator and see if it. I doubt it though because he's so much bigger and like lengthier than all the other Terminators. But guess what? We have dreadnoughts. Yeah, and I'm thinking, yo, one of those Gladys dreadnoughts with a shield, and instead of having the blade, they could have this big ass nasty Emperor arm with crazy ass talon lightning talons coming out of it. That's just gonna look wicked, and I think the proportions are gonna be on, right? Because this is about how big one of our dreadnoughts are. I have one. He's just not here. So I kind of get this guy together. I'm actually going to stand him up. But yeah, I think that arm might work. And if not there, then I could probably get it on to some Terminators. So just in this box alone, there are so many upgrades for Custodes forces. You want your 2,000 points of Custodes to look different than everybody else's. Yo, here you go. Not only do you have like a showpiece to intimidate your enemy and just put that right off the table like the Emperor's watching them, right? But then you also get all these extras that you get to put in, splice into your army and kit bash. This is such good stuff for kit bashing. Some of the best that I've seen for Custodes specifically. We got a freaking Cyber Eagle. And yo, the heads. That's right. They're all different heads. I'm not going to try to zoom them up here, but they're all different Emperor heads. They all have different awesome poses. They look much better than a lot of the heads that I see on most Space Marines. They took a lot of time and energy to do that. They got his hair flying in all sorts of different ways. They have some of them where he has like the little angel halo behind his head. It's part of it. And I think they even have one of his heads with like a beard where he's like older. It's kind of funny. I'm looking at some of these heads. I'm like, this face looks younger than this one, and this one has like a beard. So I just thought that the 5 different head variations were awesome. Like, if I would have had these when I was working on my Ventari, then every one of my Ventari would have an Emperor's head on them right now, and they would all it would all just look like the Emperor. Instead, I wanted helmets for them, and I actually really like some of the Grey Knight heads, so I put some Grey Knight helmets on them. Which, why not? Custodes have access to everything, the best of the best, so it would make sense that they would have some of that stuff laying around. So yeah, all in all, I think this is just an amazing pick for any Custodian army or anybody that just fancies the Emperor. There's a different version of this model. Yeah, it's not as good as this one. That's just IMO. I'm just being real. The other one does look pretty cool, but no, this looks right. This looks exactly, how Games Workshop have portrayed him, and they did an amazing job. The quality is there. I'm not just looking at the box. Like, I'm looking at this with my eyes. I'm seeing all the quality and the cuts and the grooves in this. This is going to be an amazing model, and you know what? If it wasn't, I wouldn't be sending this all the way to freaking Siberia, halfway around the world again, to be painted. I just wouldn't do that if the model wasn't worth it. And that should tell you that this quality, IMO, it's above and beyond what Games Workshop and Forge World is cranking out right now. And if anybody can make that call, it's me, baby, because I've been putting together Forge World stuff for the past couple months and Games Workshop stuff. I got a whole Necron force together, and I got a Custodes force together because I started making Custodians because of all the Indomitable boxes that I got for some of the Necrons, and they ended up being really awesome conversions. I can't wait to show them off once they're all done, but in the meantime, I've had a studio in Siberia painting up some of the creme de creme models for me, some of like the showstopper models, because it's been like 15 years since I've painted. So I figured I'm going to paint my Custodian forces, but the HQ choices, I can have some pro in Siberia go over that and make it look amazing. And that's exactly what I'm doing. He does come with a pretty awesome base. And what's important about this is, well, anytime Games Workshop actually comes out with a version of the Emperor and you want to use this model, you can put this guy in any base you want. Obviously, this is the one that he comes with, but I'm sure you could make just about any base work for him. Um, and that's going to be important if you want to put him on a different base to have him the exact legal base size. But this looks about the size of a Custodes base to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Most Custodes have a base this size. I don't have any here to compare it to, but the base looks right to my naked eye. And if not, they've made it pretty easy for you to, there's pegs here. You can put them on a different base. So just thought that was worth mentioning. And yeah, everything looks good. I went through all the parts. I counted them all. Everything looks good. Yeah, it's really quite amazing what they've done here, and I want to make sure to give them props. So very awesome, very happy. Anybody want to upgrade their Custodes forces? Here's a quick and easy way to do it, and it's gonna look great. And on top of that, you're gonna get this guy. Yeah, he looks amazing. I can't wait to see when he's done. It's probably gonna take a while because this thing's gonna have to travel around the world and come back to me, but I think we're gonna do it. And I don't know. He should be pretty easy to find. You can contact the seller on eBay if you want, or you can just go to leveluphobby.com. Also, if you just look up smart resin models, a bunch of these different models will come up. This isn't their first rodeo. Obviously, this isn't just like the first model they're going to crank out. We'll just start from scratch and make the Emperor of Mankind. No, that doesn't happen. They make some awesome sister models that I've seen. I might just do something with those models for like some Sisters of Silence. I don't know. They have a bunch of cool stuff, but this one deserves some recognition for sure. And I wanted to put something out for this just because I'm so excited about it and so happy about all the end result of actually getting this thing. This was a score. This was a win. Hell, the paint paid for itself, right? So I don't know. I can vouch for this seller. They do care about their reputation, and if something happens and you have to wait an extra week, they're gonna take care of you and they're gonna reimburse you. So that's cool. You don't see that all the time. Very happy to see that, and I will have the seller's name in the description. Have a nice day, and don't forget to sub if you enjoyed. Later.